if you associate that feel good with unproductive habits, it's gonna fuck you over. For example, like alcohol, partying, degeneracy, any sort of degeneracy, porn is the biggest one. I'm sure like most of you have already kind of made up your mind on what I relapsed from, and like I know what you fuckers are thinking, dirty-minded fucking pricks. But but I'm gonna tell you like exactly what I relapsed from and how I sort of like fix and like go about it. Just like sharing my philosophy on how to recover from things that you were addicted to at one point and sort of like take back control of your life. As you might have known if you're a returning viewer, and I'm trying to like cut down my body fat in order to like reveal my best ever physique in the shortest period of time, just to prove a point to the audience over here, especially like the Indian audience, of just how much is possible if you put your mind to something. Sometimes you'll be put in positions where these sort of situations might not be optimal, especially like when you're invited somewhere. So last night me and my family, we were invited to someone's house and it was their birthday, and for the most part, I stuck very well to like just purely focusing on the meats. For dessert though, there was ice cream, there was cake, there were Indian sweets, which I fucking love. There was mango. There was lots of different things, chocolates and like whatnot. If any one of y'all know me even 1%, I fucking love sweets. I have like an insane ass sweet tooth, And the thing is, once it starts, it just keeps going. It wants more. And that's sort of how, I don't know, that's like my addiction with like sugar and stuff. Like even as a kid, my mom used to have like these jars of like sugar. What I would do is I'd take a spoon. And this is me like 10 years ago or something. I would take a spoon. I would like lick the empty spoon so it now has my spit on it. I would dip it in the fucking jar of sugar, take it out, and then you'll have like crystals of sugar just stuck on the spoon. Back again. That's sort of like how I built my addiction to fucking sugar and all these like bullshit things. That's exactly what I relapsed on. So I fucking like went crazy on the ice cream, mango, Indian sweets. Crazy. I went crazy. Like I genuinely, no bullshit. Genuinely, I'm pretty sure I had at least like 1,000 or more calories in just sweets. In the moment, I sort of felt amazing. Like I was like, wow, this is so good, like satisfying my craving, everything. And it's normal to have cravings. It's the key aspect is course correction and not like giving into the addiction in the future. So in the moment, you feel amazing. In the moment, you're like, wow, this is amazing. The thing is, even though most of us people on like journeys like this, we know that in the long run, these things like hurt us like extremely bad. Like especially sugar. Sugar will cause inflammation, and inflammation is this main source of pretty much every single disease that you can possibly imagine. And it also reduces testosterone. So from a gym bros perspective, yeah, fuck no, I'm not fucking having sugar and whatnot. I like to keep my hormones in check. I like to keep my testosterone levels as high as fucking possible. I'm not gonna fucking like chemically castrate myself. Woke up, and the thing is like this is something document worthy. Like this is something that most people can take a learning from. It wasn't that easy to be course corrected because this is how our body works, okay? This is how our dopaminergic system works. That is in every human being's like system. So imagine like 3 boxes, right? Now, one is a stimulus, one is your brain, and one is the dopamine release factory, let's say. You need a stimulus from the 5 senses in your body that when processed by your brain can release dopamine. For example, sugar, right? Just for this example, me eating sugar, me putting sugar in my body, my brain processing it, okay, this is sugar, sweetness, etc., getting that dopamine hit, okay? I feel amazing. I feel good, sugar, tasting it, because the taste receptors, like, I feel good after eating sugar, in that very moment. Like, dopamine is a hormone, like, it's a feel-good hormone. If you associate that feel-good with unproductive habits, it's gonna fuck you over. For example, like alcohol, partying, degeneracy, any sort of degeneracy, porn is the biggest one. It's sort of like classically conditioning your brain into finding dopamine sources from these bad habits rather than finding dopamine sources from productive habits. There is a latency, there is a time that elapses after I get that first initial dopamine hit. You will forget why you felt bad. You will just remember that you felt bad, and your brain will forget why you felt bad. Okay, what caused that feeling of badness? So for example, for me this morning, feeling of badness was lack of energy, lethargy, just general like tiredness, like fake tiredness almost. System sends you into a feedback loop that now all you remember, you don't remember why you feel bad. All you remember is that you got a dopamine, which means like having sugar made you feel good. You feel bad, so the feedback is you should have more sugar. That is the trap most of us fall into. That is the dopaminergic system. The way to sort of like fix this is reevaluate your sources of dopamine that you're getting. Okay, so I, even though I knew that that sugar was the cause, I started indulging in habits, unproductive habits, that would give me the same level of dopamine. For example, like scrolling on social media. In the morning, I woke up, I started scrolling on social media. Usually, I started with like reading this book, but I started scrolling on social media. I started like engaging in degenerate content, and that caused my entire fucking morning to be ultra unproductive. And it's nothing that I did not expect, but I'm sort of like using this sort of like experience to put out into the world, so that people like around the world can like learn from this and like learn how to like trick your dopaminergic system. Things I would do in order to sort of fix, because at the end of the day, this is how addictions work. At the end of the day, it's classically conditioning your brain, and I was definitely addicted to sugar and the dopamine I got from sugar. The way you can like fix something like this, and this is like a very like big perspective, and obviously if you want more in-depth answers to your questions for your specific addictions, I run a free online community. It's called the Jack Nerds. Anything in detail, go look at that. What I would do is sort of like reduce or like replace and evaluate the sources where I get my dopamine from. So there are productive lists of things that can give you dopamine. For example, like exercising, cold and hot exposure like cold showers or sauna, reading, socializing, doing like purposeful work. And then there's unproductive habits such as partying, alcohol, sugar, junk food, pornography, video games. The hit that you get from all these like other things, all these unproductive habits, is definitely greater, and the hit that you get from like all these like productive habits is definitely lesser. But the key is stacking, habit stacking. Now, if you habit stack a lot of these like good habits, that can offset the damage done to you from, let's say, your video game addiction or your sugar addiction or your carb crash or whatever. And that's something I would recommend you to go right after. So course correction is most important. It's not about just like indulging, because if you got a crazy ass dopamine hit from eating like some sugar like the night off, now you want to go to social media, start scrolling to get that same level of dopamine hit. Now you'll start engaging in other bad activities that gives you the same level of dopamine hit, and you sort of like fall into this like pit of just dopamine after dopamine, and you become a slave to your emotions. To take back control, habit stack all the productive habits that can sort of like outweigh the damage done to you by that unproductive dopamine. So I would say like engage in personal work. If you're feeling like you're craving something, socialize. If you're feeling like you're fucking horny as fuck and you want to watch porn and shit, exercise. Fucking like fatigue yourself in that way. Do purposeful work. Read. So many different habits. And the thing is like I'm living proof on like doing that. I'm living proof. I love like for me, one of the best things is fasting. So what I like to do is whenever an instance like this happens, I would like fast for an elongated period of time. I'm gonna go work out now. I'm gonna like finish reading a chapter or two of this book. I'm recording this video, which is like work. I am like gonna fast. I just took a cold shower. So many habit stacking just to offset that one insane hit I got from that sugar. So course correction is ultra important, and hopefully you get something valuable out of this video. As always, if you have any questions, leave a comment and subscribe so that more videos like this, more like informational videos, not like dopamine inducing like addictive films or like, you know, like edits and stuff coming up on your feed. You'd rather have like videos like this, unedited, raw, unfiltered, like videos that can like actually help you improve your life, and like you can sort of like learn life lessons. So consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.